You take a deep breath and hold it. Your goal is simple. Do not exhale until the sun expands into a red giant and consumes the earth. This is a commitment to longevity. The timer starts now. Your lungs are full. The long challenge begins. Biology hates this plan. Carbon dioxide builds up in the bloodstream. This triggers a primal panic. The diaphragm begins to spasm. Brain signals scream for air. Most people give up in 2 minutes. You are not most people. You have an infinite will, but the will does not stop the chemistry. Blood acidity rises. Lactic acid floods the muscle. The urge to breathe becomes a physical violence. The chest heaves. The biological breaking point is not oxygen lack. It is carbon dioxide toxicity. Hypercapnia sets in. The pH level of the blood drops. This is acidosis. Organs begin to fail in a very orderly fashion. First the consciousness slips, then the heart enters an erratic rhythm. Usually this ends in a quiet death, but we are ignoring the death part for the sake of the hypothetical. The body is now a corpse holding its breath, a very stubborn corpse. This corpse must survive for 5 billion years. The Earth continues to rotate. The oceans evaporate. The atmosphere vanishes. Now there is no air to breathe anyway. The challenge has technically become easier because there is nothing left to inhale. Time passes with agonizing boredom. Billions of years are just a blur of gray rock. The solar system is quiet. The stickman remains motionless. Lungs are still inflated. The skin has long since turned to dust. Only the concept of the breath remains. It is impressive. The sun begins to run out of hydrogen. The core contracts. Helium fusion ignites. The outer layers swell. This is the red giant phase. The sun grows 100 times larger. Mercury is the first to go. The planet turns into a puff of metallic vapor. Venus follows shortly after. The heat is now immense. The Earth is pushed into a chaotic orbit. The surface is a global ocean of molten basalt. This is the perfect time to exhale. However, the goal was to wait until expansion. The solar corona reaches the orbit of the Earth. The vacuum of space is replaced by a wall of incandescent plasma. The temperature reaches millions of degrees. The atoms of the stubborn corpse are ripped apart. Electrons are stripped from nuclei. The breath is no longer held by lungs but by a cloud of ionized gas. The Earth is now inside the sun. The planetary core is digested by the stellar interior. Gravitational pressure is incomprehensible. The remnants of the stickman are crushed into a degenerate state of matter. Proton-proton chain reactions happen in the space where the chest used to be. The breath is now a localized pocket of high-pressure plasma. It is technically still held. The solar wind carries the ionized remnants across the galaxy. The sun eventually sheds its outer layers. A planetary nebula forms. A white dwarf remains. This is a dense, hot diamond of a star. The breath has survived the death of a world. It has witnessed the collapse of a solar system. The physics are absolute. The biological limit was surpassed by the total destruction of biology. There is no longer a brain to feel the panic of suffocation. There are no lungs to spasm. There is only the persistence of the original intent. The commitment to the challenge remains the only constant in a dying universe. The vacuum of space is cold, but the memory of the breath is hot. We zoom out. The Milky Way is colliding with Andromeda. Stars are dancing in gravitational chaos. The breath, now a microscopic speck of anomalous plasma, drifts through the void. Dark energy is pushing everything apart. Galaxies vanish over the horizon. The universe enters the era of degenerate matter. Black holes begin to evaporate via Hawking radiation. This takes an unthinkable amount of time, 10 to the power of 100 years. The atoms themselves begin to decay. Protons might vanish. If the proton decays, the very idea of a breath becomes impossible. The structural integrity of the universe fails. The heat death of the universe approaches. Entropy reaches its maximum. The temperature is a fraction above absolute zero. Everything is uniform. Everything is cold. The breath is finally the only thing left with any distinct identity. It is a single, stubborn, ionized particle of defiance in a sea of nothingness. The absolute silence of the cosmos is deafening. There is no more air, there is no more sun, there is no more time, there is only the lingering metaphysical ghost of a very deep inhalation. The commitment is finally complete. The universe is over. The timer finally stops. The sun expanded. The earth died. The universe ended. You successfully held your breath until the end of all things. This is a world record. Unfortunately, there is no one left to certify the attempt. There are no judges. There is no Guinness World Records office. There is only a vast, empty void. This makes the achievement technically unofficial. The lack of documentation is a significant blow to the ego. You spent 5 billion years on a stunt that no one saw. Upon reviewing the terms and conditions of the challenge, a technicality emerges. The rules stated you must hold your breath until the sun expands. Since you were vaporized by the solar corona, you cease to exist as a legal entity. The attempt is disqualified for participant expiration. Your commitment to failure is inspiring. We have more terrible ideas in the queue. Subscribe to the What If Club. Let us destroy the universe together. See you in the next one.